Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. Today we're talking with three local nonprofit organizations, Illinois Hands and Voices, the Driskill Foundation, and Xilin Association. Watching Spotlight, and today I'm joined by Andrea and Carrie. They're here representing Illinois Hands and Voices, so welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you here, and Andrea, it's nice to talk to you again.
Thank
you. I always am interested in your organization. It's unique. Tell us about what makes it unique.
Well, we serve families throughout the state of Illinois who have children who are deaf and hard of hearing. And the thing that makes us different from other organizations that support that population is that we don't care about methods, modalities, languages used. If a child has any form of a hearing loss, we welcome them into our world.
Yeah.
And it's a safe place for families.
Yeah, that's really wonderful, and I'm very inclusive, right? I mean, that is really your motto, is being very inclusive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Carrie, talk a little bit about some of the programming that you offer.
Yeah, so we offer a free program called Guide by Your Side. It's one-on-one support for families with children who are deaf and hard of hearing. And it's so they have an opportunity to talk to another parent who's on that journey, understands it, utilize them for some emotional support, maybe some resources, and help getting them connected with other resources and things that are available in our state and even nationwide.
Okay, and I like that term, Guide by Your Side. I mean, that sounds warm and it sounds inviting. And I would imagine that when you discover that your child has a hearing loss or is completely deaf, that's very challenging.
Yes.
Yeah, and wondering where do you turn for
exactly.
support?
And that's exactly why we got the program rolling in our state. It is a national program. So the nice thing is we're able to partner with our neighboring states. So if families cross the border for services, we're able to connect with them and find out how close those are and what else can help. And sometimes families move across the state line and they can still be connected with a mentor then.
Okay, so you can kind of direct them to other resources.
Exactly.
That's nice. Andrea, talk a little bit about some of the events that your organization is involved with.
Great. So we do have some upcoming events that are really exciting for us. Every year we have our biggest fundraising event. Being a nonprofit, we have to raise funds in order to provide the services that we do. So at the end of May, on the 30th, at Phillips Park in Aurora, we are going to have a 5K.
Oh, nice.
We have had this 5K once before, 2 years ago in Bloomington. It's a chipped 5K, so any runner can come and support our group and do what they love to do. If they love the running, they're there for it. We call it the Super Hear, Hearo 5K. So it's all about the ears and what we can provide. So that event's coming up, and then we have our Mom's Night In overnight retreat, which is our 11th year, and it's an overnight 24-hour period where moms get to come and let their hair down, they get massages, they get their nails done, they get to bond with other moms and other female caretakers who just are there and get it, and they've been down the same road.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
would
a lot of
imagine, the whole self-care and just being able to step out and just regroup, it's so important for everybody's mental health to have
Absolutely.
that time. We're in such a busy, crazy world these days. But I would think that having that opportunity to really connect at a time when you're relaxed with other people in your same circumstance would be very powerful. Got any stories you want to share on that, or just kind of some of those feelings about that event that you've witnessed?
Yeah.
You know, for one of the things that I see is that our parent guides like to attend the event as well. And so that gives them an opportunity to meet up some of those families that they're using or helping through the Guide by Your Side program for the first time. Maybe they've talked to them on the phone or texted or emailed, but that was the first time they've been able to meet up in person and just give a hug and really connect on a deeper level. And I think that was probably one of the biggest takeaways that we have, or I've seen over the years.
Okay, and that's so. About how many people do you get that participate?
We get anywhere from 30 to 50.
Wow!
And you know, a lot of these ladies have been coming for 11 years, and they look forward to their overnight. And we end at 9, but they don't end at 9. at all. These women, they are out for the night, and they really do enjoy themselves. And then on the Sunday, when they come back, we provide a panel, and Carrie can tell a little bit about that.
Yeah. So this year, every year the panel changes, but this year we're going to have dads with children who that are deaf and hard of hearing. And the beauty of that is it gives the moms an ability to see other perspectives and other journeys, and really just take some takeaways from that and go from there. Maybe that's something they can implement at home, or maybe they're grateful for how things are at home. Who knows?
Right.
But every year our panel is different, and it really is a unique experience.
Yeah, and I would think just hearing, sometimes you realize that your situation is maybe better than others, and other times I think you can really, like you said, you can get a little takeaway that, oh, this might be something I could try, right?
Absolutely.
And I would think, too, it's kind of interesting having dads. Now, have you had a dad's panel before?
We have, not at Mom's Night In, but we've had it at other events or conferences that we've attended and presented at, and it is always well received, because dads, they don't put themselves out there easily. So we get them to put themselves out there, and they're usually pretty comical. It is a
they
lot
don't really
of fun.
have a filter.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
You kind of hear how it really is. Yes, that's interesting. Now, both of you, I know, have a very personal connection to this mission and journey. Would you like to share a little bit about how you both got involved?
Yeah, honestly, probably one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about Guide by Your Side is, we both have children who are deaf. They're not far apart in age. But we've had very different journeys, from the time they were diagnosed to the type of amplification and the schooling they've had and everything, that we've both had successful journeys, but they've looked different.
Okay.
And it really is it's great connecting with somebody, because you get the ability to say that your journey doesn't have to be the same, but it's going to be a journey, and you're going to figure it out, and you can figure it out with other friends.
Right, and you get to express your concerns and things without, people don't look at you like, I can't believe you made that choice, because everybody who's there truly believes that if it works for you guys, it's great. That's what you should do. And we always make sure that every family knows they can change in their journey. It doesn't have to stay the same.
Yeah.
Because a lot of families think, oh, I chose this, I've got to push through. And everything is ever changing, and we give them permission to do that. And
I think that's wonderful,
important.
right? Because and it's interesting. I was just at a presentation about adaptability and how important that is, and that sounds like that's kind of a part of your core tenet, is that ability to be able to adapt and evolve and move through the journey.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I know you're doing a lot of good work, and we wish you the best in 2020. And Mom's like, I feel like we shouldn't promote that too much, otherwise you're going to have a whole lot of other individuals who'd like to be there, hearing impaired children or deaf children or not. But thank you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
If you would like to know more about Illinois Hands and Voices, please go to their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Spotlight.
You work hard, and you want to see your efforts pay off, literally. Whether you're dreaming of retirement, growing your business, or leaving a legacy for future generations, at Busey, we help you realize the possibilities of tomorrow. We listen to your needs and goals to create a sound strategy for you and your family. Enjoy the achievements of your life and work. We'll handle the rest. Busey, your dream, our promise.
Having NCTV come in and being able to really capture what we do, how we've changed, and the different programming we have has helped us stand out and bring people in looking for a different type of fitness. So they're really good at showing and communicating. If you have a business that might be hard to understand, or maybe a class that is better visualized than in print, they are the people to do it. So they reach out to the community, they meet our target audience, and they do a really nice job delivering a very precise idea of what your company has. It's been our biggest return on all advertising that we've done. So they come in, they do all the work, and they make it beautiful. And we've had the opportunity to work with NCTV 3 times, and every time they outdo themselves. Staff is so easy to work with, worth every dollar. They're just phenomenal people and a great product.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and joining me now are June Bernard and Caitlin Moon. They're here from the Driskill Foundation. So welcome.
Thank you.
Always good to have you back in the studio. And June, let's talk a little bit about the foundation. You have two things that you're really focused on, and that's curiosity, right?
Right.
And creativity and youth.
Correct.
So tell us a little bit about why those are so important to the foundation.
and I like to say that we don't focus on two separate things. It melds together, because when a young person becomes curious, their mind becomes creative. And those two things are so important, because I think we're all aware of the issues we have with young people today with their mental health and their self-confidence and all the rest. Well, when they become curious and creative, they're ignited. And the end result many times is an improved self-esteem, mental health. So I'm just so passionate about it, I can't begin to tell you. I could, but we won't have enough time.
Okay, that's wonderful though, and I think you've been very focused on that.
Yes, for quite a while.
Yeah,
Yes, right.
Yeah. Caitlin, kind of building off that with that whole curiosity and creativity, you sponsored the 2019 TEDx Naperville,
Yes.
another wonderful not-for-profit with an excellent event. Talk a little bit about why that was important to you as a foundation.
Well, it was important to us because it was the perfect fit. It was for the curious. So we thought, well, we've got a town full of curious minds gathering in one place. Right. And how about we step in with the mission of curiosity and creativity and say, well, what are you curious about? And how do your thoughts on creativity and curiosity benefit our youth today? So we are really excited to be able to be there and reach out as the host partner to all the people that were there and say, give us some ideas and collaborate with us to just really find new programs, find new ideas, just become curious about what they are curious about. So we were able to connect with them during the live events, during the speakers. They were asked a question, and what are you curious about, and how do you think we can make our youth more curious? We were able to collect those and gain data from that. We also had two wonderful booths set up where we had a little window display and people could come by and see what people are curious about. They could even write something down and put it up on the windows, come gather information about the Driskill Foundation. And then we even were able to bring in partners, Inside Out, Chicago, and they are our zebrafish modules, and they go into the CPS schools and teach science. And they actually brought zebrafish to TEDx, and were able to kind of display one of our programs to our community. So it's really, really nice to kind of be with everybody from Naperville and people who've traveled from far to come to TEDx and just share our mission with them.
Yeah, well, and it's certainly, having been there, it's a very interactive day, I think. You know, as you say, for the curious was the theme for this year, so it fit perfectly. And I love the fact that you were, getting feedback. I mean, what a great way to sort of, almost do a large-scale community focus group.
Right. It was just perfect, and we were just so glad to be a part of it.
We had over 200 cards and
I think upwards. I think honestly 300. We had 300 responses,
which is incredible.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And people that actually want us to
reach out to them.
Yes, that's nice. That's awesome.
Really
That's really good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and obviously that's one of the ways you were promoting your mission. But June, what are some of the other ways that you're promoting your mission?
Well, I have to say a lot of that I give credit to Caitlin, because she's very active in the community. And she's always singing our song. And I think the other way is our involvement in Chicago, but it's really one-on-one. I mean, we don't do much other than the website and social media.
I think we share our mission through our grants that are given each year, and we kind of hope that our partners continue to spread our mission, and we're able to kind of collaborate and connect with those that are in need, and they are able to come to us and say, we've got some really cool ideas, and we say, all right, well, we're
They're
curious.
finding us, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Well, to that end, so give us some examples of some of the grants, because you gave out quite a lot of grants in 2019.
So we were very privileged to work with incredible partners in 2019. Lots of new people through the door. We kind of changed our grant process. So we were able to take in new applications instead of just kind of renewing the ones we've done in the past, which are still incredible. So we do a couple ones in Chicago, which is our Inside Out. It's our largest program in CPS, and they use the zebrafish as a teaching module in the classrooms. We also fund Club STEM through the Boys and Girls Clubs in the cities.
Okay.
And it's a one-day event where they all come together and they it's kind of like a science fair. They
Right.
present their science fair projects,
right.
And then get to break off into sessions and get to be taught by scientists. Different modules, different lesson plans. It's really an incredible day. And then we're able to kind of come back into Naperville here. We fund Little Friends. We do a really cool program for their junior high students that brings them out into the community and finds out what they're curious about. We do 360 Youth Services in a partnership with IPEF, the Indian Prairie Education Foundation, and do their counseling program. So we kind of like to be in everywhere, in all the different partnerships, and be involved in any way that we can. We've just are incredibly grateful to our partners to kind of open their doors to us. And they allow us to kind of share our mission through their programs. And we hope that 2020 is even better. We kind of are starting our grant application process now.
Okay.
And so that's really,
And so
really
can
cool.
anybody apply? So tell me a little bit about that process.
So if you visit our website, you're able to see our funding guidelines and our grant process. This year we're only doing 2 because last year we funded so many amazing programs. We kind of are just focusing on 2 grant processes this year.
Okay.
So our first one just closed January 1st, and funding goes out in June. So we have 14 really cool proposals that we're reading over right now. And if you fit our mission and our vision, you're a private nonprofit or just a nonprofit, you're able to apply for a grant from us. And it's a pretty easy process. You go right through me.
Okay.
And they can contact me, and I will get them all the information they need.
Okay, wonderful. So go visit your website or
Yes.
pick up the phone and call Caitlin.
Yes.
Yes?
And I'll be there.
And
Yeah.
you'll be there. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So June is 2020, it's a new year, it's a new decade. I think all of us are just sort of feeling like, wow, it's that little bit
Right.
more. It's like the new year plus.
Right.
What's your vision?
Well, it's interesting because 2020 is a year that I've been hearing in my head since 1994 when I married Ron Barnard. Because 2020 was supposed to be sunset year for the foundation. And when he became ill, I said, I don't want to do that. I want to keep it going. So for me, it's the year that I just know something great's going to happen, because I know we're here for a reason. I know that we're continuing to survive for a reason. So we're working on a very exciting new program that's not ready yet, but it's
Okay.
going to be based all on curiosity and creativity. Again, igniting that in the lives of young minds. Because we're not mental health foundation.
Right.
But you can't, again, I have to say it, if you can take a young mind, help them become curious and creative, their self-esteem, they become more comfortable with who they are. They communicate, so it's a big picture. So that's what we're working on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we're excited, and I
am.
know you're gonna keep us informed.
Oh, I
and
will.
you're gonna let us know.
You bet.
So thanks so much for stopping by. We appreciate all that you're doing, and we love the fact that you're investing so much in Naperville. So thank you for that. If you would like to learn more about how you can support the mission of the Driskill Foundation, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.
Timing is everything, especially when it comes to your business. Whether you're ready to start up or expand out, running a business is challenging. You deserve a trusted partner. At Busey, we tailor our approach to your unique needs and help you navigate financial decisions, achieve your goals, and realize your dreams of success. Your dreams shouldn't wait. Busey, your dream, our promise.
We tell everybody's stories big and small. Everybody's story matters to us, and it comes in a variety of shapes and sizes, and that's what makes it so special. We don't always need a big story. Sometimes we want a story that makes us laugh. Sometimes we want a story that we relate to. Sometimes we want to cry with that story. But more importantly, we want to hear the stories about our people in the community.
Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette. I'm joined now by Sophia and Stephanie. They're here representing the Xilin Association. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
We're super happy to have you here. So I'm going to start right out with you, Sophia. What drew you to the Xilin Association?
For me, it's definitely the purpose and the mission of Xilin Association. As an immigrant myself, all the way from China, I have witnessed so many great things, amazing things actually, Xilin has done for families in Chicagoland area, especially Asian families. So that's something I absolutely feel very proud and connected with.
Wonderful. Stephanie, how about yourself?
So same experience like Sophia, and I'm from China, and but I stayed here more than half of my life. And initially, I was actually tasked by my company and to look into the community and we serve, and NitroGas is in that area, and so as more and I get involved with Xilin, and I find out and Xilin really are doing great things for the communities. And that's really is in line with our corporate missions.
Okay, so kind of you got tossed in from a corporate perspective, but then found yourself really enjoying it and doing it on a personal level as well.
That's correct, yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, Sophia, talk a little bit about some of the services, because I think oftentimes we know you for some of your signature events, but you offer a lot of services to the community. Tell us a little bit about some of those.
Absolutely. Xilin Association provides multi-purpose and diverse social service programs, including seniors daycare, children's education, cross-cultural performing arts program, in-home service, as well as welcome center. We also manage a Chinese language training school during the weekend as well.
It's a lot.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you're in a new building also, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So say a little bit more about that.
The new building, we actually renovated the space back in May. I was there at the grand opening. Moved from 310 to 610, located on Ogden Avenue, Iroquois Business Center, which is like right behind Happy Land. It's another hot spot for Naperville, and just
it really upgraded the space and expanded, and there is more seniors, and they can do a lot of activities there. They even can have the ping pong tables and dance floors and over there. So it's really expanded the.
It's funny, I was lucky enough to come over and have a tour, and I was just amazed by all the different little spaces, particularly relative to where you were before. I mean, it really, it is a center at this point for you.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a center, and we have nearly like 25,000 square feet in the new building, which definitely can be utilized to host events, and we can talk about that later.
Sure, absolutely. Well, let's talk a little bit, Stephanie, about what your next major event is that you have coming up.
Yeah, I'm so excited to announce the 15th annual Lantern Festival, and is in April 25th, 2020, and we have been working on and for so long, every year is long. And there initially it started with just the showcase of the performing arts and from the center. And through the years, it's really involved in getting more diverse and the local musicians and to join. And one of the favorite and the performance is the Kung Fu. Mm-hmm. And when you look on the stage, and you will see, and actually the people performing are very diverse group.
Yes.
And so it's not only just the Asian, and it's very diverse. And another great one and example was one year we have the Chicago Bear drum team and performing and in one of the festival. And so that's great. And also, NitroGas has been a sponsor for over 5 years, and that's how I started to get involved with the Lantern Festival. And here, I really encourage more corporations and find way and to sponsor that really culture events.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, I mean, having been at it, we have covered it multiple times on the channel. It's a beautiful, and as you say, a very diverse and robust range of artists that are a part of that whole performance, from very young kids to much more seasoned performers. So, Sophia, talk a little bit about your plan to engage with the community, because that's a big part of your role now, right?
Yes, absolutely, and I feel very thrilled, to take this position. So like I said earlier, we have in Naperville Center, we have 25,000 square feet, including 9 classrooms plus 2 dance studios. So we currently partner with Naperville Park District. They use one of our dance studios to program dance classes weekly.
Nice.
So I would also like to reach out to other organizations in our community as well as community leaders, because I believe in partnership can only benefit from all of us.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
can only make our community stronger.
Absolutely.
By working close with each other.
Yeah, well, you have space and you have programs, and when you can align with partners, that really makes everybody's life better and more rich, right?
As a matter of fact, on January the 23rd, just one day before Chinese New Year, Xilin Association will host Naperville Rotary Club's monthly get-together, Raise the Bar event in our center, so to celebrate Chinese New Year together. So we'll provide children's performances as well as some traditional Chinese game activities. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And just a little add-on that, after 30 years of growth, Xilin now has 6 locations across the state of Illinois. It started out in Naperville, but now we have centers in Aurora, Chicago Pilsen, Chicago Chinatown, Arlington Heights, and Elgin.
Yeah, that's big growth over that time period, but certainly well needed, right?
Absolutely.
Stephanie, I'm going to wrap up with you. Just a little overview of the vision as you go 2020 and forward.
So as Sophia just mentioned, and it grow very fast. And from just the 1 center and to 6 centers now. So our vision is really be able to sustaining that growth and be able to continue to support the seniors. As we know, there is a lot of demands out there. That was the main reason for us to be able to grow. And so sustaining and keep the growth is very important. And the most important is to support the communities, and the community for us it's very, and so for the corporations and that is really and supporting the communities through the charitable giving as well as volunteering and efforts.
That's wonderful. Well, listen, I wish you all the best for a very prosperous, happy, healthy 2020, and thank you for coming and sharing your information with us. If you would like to learn more information about the Xilin Association and the events that they offer and sponsor, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back with more Spotlight. I'd like to thank all of my guests for joining us on Spotlight, and our friends at Busey Bank for their generous sponsorship of today's show. If you want to learn more about the organizations featured on today's episode, please go and visit our website at nctv17.com. And to stay informed about what's happening in your community, sign up to receive our daily news update and like and follow us on Facebook. For Spotlight, I'm Jane Wernette. Thank you for watching. Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise.